Hello, good evening, my wonderful people. Good evening, good evening. Well done. Thank you for joining us today on our long planned edition at Gold Mine Africa. My name is Obetin Mbang, your personal development and leadership coach, and also your lead mentor in this particular platform. It gladdens our mind that finally, we are here after much planning. It is a thing of joy that we are here to come and learn, to come and share, and also to grow. Because this is one thing that characterizes us on this platform. I am so happy that all of us are here, and I strongly believe that today is going to be a wonderful session. It is indeed going to be a wonderful session. Our speaker, the first speaker to per se, is ready in person of Precious. She's here already. So let us just calm down. Things will go very well. I strongly believe that you are prepared and you have your notepad and all your writing materials ready. Trust me, a lot is here for you to enjoy today. So please, if you can hear me loud and clear, ensure to drop a comment on the chat box so that I will know that you can hear me, and also type in where you are joining us from, and ensure you reach out to your friends that you have invited. Tell them that we have started so that they will come and join us at this moment. So please let me understand that all of you can hear me so that I will know that I'm not speaking to myself alone. Okay, yes, Precious is here. She is ready. But before then, we need to understand why we are putting up this particular platform and also why we are having this program for today. As we have seen, the theme for our today's discussion is raising responsible generation. Raising a responsible generation. It has become so important that many things we have been looking at before to be something we can just leave by chance to happen, things are no longer working that way. We need to be responsible for whatever thing we are doing, whatever action we are taking. We need to be responsible about it. And for this reason, we need to also teach the upcoming generation on how to be responsible in whatever they are doing. Just like the normal quote I always say, that someone who is not told what to do but keep on doing it always have the highest wages in return. Unlike those who always wait for them to be told before they do a particular thing. Those who do what they have not been told and it is the normal and also the most important thing that needs to be done at that moment, they often get more reward for it. So it is very important that in the world we are today, we need to be responsible for whatever we are doing, because if we fail to do this, definitely we are not going to get the best out of the resources at our disposal, and whatever we have been given, if we fail to make good use of it, definitely it is a waste. So at this moment, I will bring in our first speaker, a person of Precious, who is already here. So, but before then, I would like to introduce Precious so that everybody will know her more. Though I know you have read her profile on the platform some days ago, but we are still going to do it more. But before then, I want to also understand that yes, you can hear me. Okay, let me check the chat box and see if you people can hear me. Okay, okay. I can see Eunice from Uyo. Eunice, thank you. Ensure you tell other people so that they will know we have already started so that they can join us back. But before, when you are doing that, you can see at the bottom that you need to allow StreamYard, give StreamYard access so that it will let us see, because your name is appearing here as a Facebook user. Below this live stream, you will see where to click to give StreamYard access to whatever you are doing. So if you do that, your name will appear here, because we will later be projecting your chat and whatever you are doing. So ensure you grant StreamYard access so that your name and your comments will be shown here. So without wasting much time, let us now welcome our speaker. And before then, let me read out her profile. Precious Ozemoya has a certificate in non-profit leadership and management from Lagos Business School. She is a graduate of the School of Politics, Policy and Governance. She has a certificate in engaging social change leadership from the Leading Change Institute, Stacy School of Leadership Studies, Kansas State University. Also, she has a certificate in designing a multidimensional poverty index from Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative, University of Oxford. Precious is the executive director of Ladders Development Initiative. She serves as a coordinator for the Commonwealth Young Women Monitoring Program in 2019. She was a judge for the Queen's Commonwealth Essay Competition in 2020 and 2021 as well. Precious has served as a global school advocate for the United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network. In addition, she has served as a board member of InvestSTEM, an international nonprofit with the mission to increase STEM accessibility for youth. Precious was part of the Nigerian Civil Society Organization consultation on the 2020 Voluntary National Review, facilitated by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on the Sustainable Development Goals. Her work has been featured in FBOMB, a Women Media Center USA initiative, Leaders in Health, Budget and Waste Smart. Precious is a Young African Leader Initiative Fellow and a Civil High Fellow. She is a recipient of the following awards: Most Influential Leader Award by She Leads, University National Youth Merit Award from the National Youth Service Corps, Ogun State, and AP Award. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, I want to use a resounding clap to welcome our speaker, Precious Ozemoya. Oh yeah, now she can join us from the live stream. Oh yes, 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 she is on now. And I hope all of you can hear her. If you cannot hear her, please ensure you type on the comment box so that I will know what is happening. Precious, once again, welcome to our live stream today. We are happy to have you.
Hi, good evening.
Evening, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I've been
Okay,
saying a lot of things about you. Okay, yes, I've been saying a lot of things about you, though I started with introducing the program to them and why we need to raise a responsible generation that will be able to do things in the right way. So at this moment, you are here. I will leave the floor for you so that you give us what you have. Thank you.
thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking out time out of your busy schedule. I know today is Saturday, that is somewhere else, but decided to stay. We're really grateful for that. And thanks to the founder of Good Mind Africa, Stan Winty. And thank you so much for the good work you do in raising youth in society. Yeah, and so the topic you actually gave me to speak on was leading the way even when others are pulling back. And when I saw the topic, I was like, really? Okay, well, if it was I could handle it, yes. So I also believe that I can handle it. And I'll just share from my knowledge today. So when it comes to leading the way, um, that might mean a lot of things or different things, different leadership. Most people believe that leadership just has maybe you have to occupy a certain position first before you say, oh, that. And so leadership has to do with the title. But that's a misconception. So I've come to realize that leadership even starts with each and every one of us because everybody is called that because you have to lead yourself first before you even think of leading other people. In terms of even leading the way where others are pulling back, so you even have to do to say, okay, how do you even lead yourself, leading yourself to influence others when everybody else are going somewhere else, maybe negative or are confused on exactly what to do. Well, I'll just share some stories from my life and some few steps that I know I keep using leading the way, even in my own life and in the way I contribute to society development. So the first thing that I'll say that for us as individuals, I believe everyone should do that is you have to get out of your comfort zone. I see this as one thing that's really kept most of us behind, or would I say at the back, in us actually pushing to even be leaders, to maximize our potential and to do a lot of things. We are still at our comfort zone. And when I refer to as comfort zone, so comfort zone, you might be thinking, well, okay, so maybe probably it's when someone has money and everything is going fine with the person, and that's where you stay at your comfort zone. No, each of us, we know ourselves and we understand ourselves better. So you know that particular point that if you say, okay, you're used to running, let's say 5 kilometers, and today you say, someone say, you run 5.1. You know, at that stage, like your head is already like, no, 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 no. I can't do that. So, so that means you've put yourself as a comfort zone, let's say 5 kilometers. Whereas you can even do so much more as running up to like 10 kilometers or as much as possible as you do, if only you can push yourself out of that comfort zone. So I feel for us. So the first thing that we can actually do is for us to like get out of our comfort zone. I just want to like, so he has read a lot of things about me. I'm like, wow, 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 wow. Well, that's a nice, it's a nice way. But I remember like before of any of those, when I was still undergraduate at the university. So my final year, I remember my department they were having this conference at Abuja. If I ask my dad would not even give me the money because he has already spent so much. And just like, okay, so you've done your project, you've graduated now, so that's like final for you. So at that point, I looked at everything to say, okay, and actually, wanted to like. I believe that there was so much in me, and I felt okay, so I should go to this conference. So I had to step out of my comfort zone because my comfort zone is me like saying, okay, I don't have the money to go, or the little money that I have, I was not able to go there. I'm not able to make any sacrifices. That's comfort. So be able to like move yourself out of what is comfortable for you. So with the little money I had gathered in school, off I went to Abuja, I went to this conference, and would I say that that was like changing phase in my life. Because if I haven't gone there, I'm sure that most of the things that you've read about me or a lot of things that I've done today, I won't have been able to do that. But it took me that decision that I had to step out of what I know to go into what I don't know about. And at that place, so that was where I was able to meet like some people, started my volunteering, and I was still like the rest is history. So why am I just trying to like share this thing today? Maybe at that place you were saying, well, maybe she has the money in the world, maybe she has all the opportunities in the world, maybe she has all the connections in the world. But that's not true. So you yourself, you might possibly be the one holding yourself back so much to not want to like go out of what you know to something that you do not know. And which is one of that way is was to like step out of your comfort zone for already what you know already. They're trying today just to say, okay, so COVID-19 has happened, like so we're in the world of unknown, uncertainty. Everybody's holding on to their scarce resources, things are skyrocketing and things are going so high. This is the time that there's so much confusion, some people have no more clarity, we've lost a lot of things. Like, don't as if the world is in chaos at this moment. People be in your own personal life, even though maybe things might be working fine in some other areas. How are you able to like to lead the way in times like this? That's what I'm just trying to say. In times like this, how are you going to say, okay, even in the midst of this chaos, in the midst of these troubles, I'm able to stand that in whatever that I'm choosing? And that's the tip I've shared with you. You have to like get out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone can even be your your limited beliefs that you probably have. Say, oh, I'm not going to push myself to do this. So I'd rather spend my time watching a movie on Netflix for like, let's say, 1 hour, or than for me to spend my time reading or acquiring a new skill. So if you're not willing to like displease, displease yourself or go the extra mile or go the extra mile, there's no way that you're going to lead the way, because you've not even led yourself to discipline enough, not led yourself to make commitment to yourself. You've not led yourself to say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. So how definitely are you going to like make a difference in the world to lead others? I think I read something somewhere that, oh, most time like we admire the idea of what will be than what it is. Like, okay, so maybe you just see someone and say, well, this person has done so much, so much. I just want to be like that person. Yes, it's a good thing to have that dream, to have that aspiration, to say, okay, I want to be like that person. Do you know what it takes for that person to have like grown to that stage to say, okay, yes, this is actually what they are going to do? Do you know the sacrifices that go behind this thing? Do you know a lot of things that the person has to perform for them to lead the way, for them to be like spotlight in society, for you to like do so much. So I just came today to like to just encourage us and challenge us that we just have to step out of our comfort zone. Like we just have to we don't have to like know the end before we say, okay, I want to take a move. It's in your doing that you get to see how the processes are and what will come out of it. Imagine whatever anyone has used today, it all starts with just one step, like just taking one step at a time to stand. Yes, there might be challenges on the way, or sometimes everything might crash. But even in terms of disappointment, in terms of when you feel that it's lost, you just learned one lesson that, okay, so maybe you tried this method and it did not work. What did that teach you? It just showed you that, okay, so you should never try this method again. For you to advise someone to say, okay, so if you try this particular way, it's not going to work, but rather you should try something else. So definitely there'll be failures, but we must continue to like to out of um, whatever circumstances. One thing I would say for us that for us to be able to lead the way is that you just have to have goals for yourself. Even they say write the vision and make it plain for each and every one of us. Everybody, you are endowed with potential, just for you to be able to maximize those potential. What exactly? I've never really sat down to say, okay, in my life, what exactly do I want? What do I want to be doing at this stage or at this time in my life? In fact, what if I leave this world today? Will I say, okay, I've been fulfilled, I've done things here, I've done things there. So what exactly do I want? Not even okay, maybe if you don't even have a plan for long term, okay, whatever, it could be in a month or even in a year today. Okay, so what exactly do I want to achieve this month? Okay, what exactly, what difference or what change am I trying to drive at this particular month? I know, okay, so let's say Mr. Obente, I know it's not today that I know that he's going to like do this event that he just woke up and just called me today and jump into the Zoom call. He had prepared. This could be maybe even like a 1 year plan ago, a 3 month plan ago, but it's not something that what he did today. Just so even I myself, so for many of the things that I have spread, it's not something that that day everything just happened, everything just started falling into place. There was the desires, like so. What are you desiring for yourself? What are the desires of your life? You have this desire. Next step for it was to set goals around them. This saying, okay, I want to, for example, say, okay, I want to buy a house. I want to buy a house is just wishful thinking. Anybody can say that. Anybody can wish to say, yes, I actually want to buy a house. But it takes deliberate effort to actually want to buy that house. So you have to like sit down and set goals. So also in your career, if it's business you want to pursue, whatever area of your life, I believe one thing that is critical is goal setting. And in setting goals, I'd just like to like share some tips. Once you're using the SMART principle, and X they stand for what specific. There's nothing like being specific in what I don't know what you believe in, if it's God, the universe, or whatever. Life has a way of giving you back the things that you actually desire in your heart. You can't just say, okay, I want to eat food. For instance, just told you I want to eat food. You can just go to your house, you give me granules, or you give me Gary. or you decide to give me rice, or you decide to give me bread. But if I tell you that, okay, this is what I want to eat. I want to eat beans, you add plantain to eat, you add water to eat, give me vegetable and give me fruits. It's different from when I say I just want food. Do you understand? That is just separate things. So also in asking, like, what exactly do you want? You have to be specific to say, I want this for myself, or I want this at this particular time. So for whatever desire you have, any issue, or whatever you want to do, be specific on what exactly you want. So setting your goals. So you want to buy a car. At what time? Put a date today. I want to buy a car by 31st of December 2022. To be even more specific, what exactly kind of car do you, or maybe your dream, what is that? Is it to start working at so so place? Is it to start your business at so so place? So you have to have specific to the date. And that way it has a way of like plugging your brain to say, okay, your brain has like it doesn't think on its own. It's what you put in there, just like garbage in and garbage out. What you put in there that comes out for it. So when you set that kind of intention for yourself, so your mind is always looking for what that opportunity, looking for ways to like give that back to you. Your brain is always thinking, she has said she wants to do this by December 31st. So start looking for ways, avenues, and channels towards bring that exact thing to you. That's how principles of life just is. And also for ego, is it measurable? So how are you going to know that, okay, at this time I have achieved this my particular. So what are the metrics for you setting that goal to say, I'm using buying a car for example. So maybe the car will cost you 5 million for instance, and you know you don't have 5 million on the spreadsheet. So setting out that goal. Maybe by monthly breaking down, so okay, so maybe in a month I should save 50,000 naira, I should save 100,000 naira, I should save whatever amount. So also with your goal, for instance, you say, okay, in this month, if it's your dream to work so so please be okay. But I've taken a course in this subject area so that by so so month I'll know this thing so that or by so so month again, then I'm applying to grow. By so month I'm discussing with HR person. Is it this month to build relationship? So that at the time that when it's not ready and available, you've planned for it, everything is working step. Not that oh you just get notice of it that it's happening today and just today you're just jumping all over the place for it. So how do you measure your goal to know that okay, you're actually moving it? Like what are the metrics you set? Let's say for instance, Mr. Bete running this webinar that say, okay, I'm expecting XYZ amount of people in this webinar. How will I know if my webinar is successful? By the number of people that watch my webinar, by the number of people that take action after my webinar. Those are the way of can track metrics. Is your goal also was achievable? So maybe at this stage that you are, you can say, okay, you want this. Um, we said this too much meeting to say, okay, for instance, just say, okay, just wake up and say, I want to be the president of like, yes, it's good to dream big. It's good to like to have that in mind. But you can't just wake up in there and say, no, it's by 2023. When you know you've not followed the steps, the procedure, you're not even in any political party, you don't even have a PVC. I think you have nothing, and then you just jump. So rather than looking at things that are so wide, or you say, okay, today you want to be the UN Secretary General. Why don't you look at simple ways to say, okay, so maybe you're just a volunteer in an organization, maybe you're a program director, maybe an executive director, or maybe you're working at the African, like little step. But meanwhile, you're focused at that exact thing that you want to achieve. So you should be able to know your strength. When we talk about relevant, I'm sorry, achievable. When we talk about achievable, something within your strength and your capacity, not again staying at the level of your comfort zone to say, okay, no, I can only do this, but to say, okay, so within this range, okay, maybe if I should enter, it's not someone like you're just an entry level job employment and you want to be ED. You know that okay, you have to grow from just being maybe a graduate trainee to be an officer. So you won't set a goal as a graduate trainee as someone who is like an MD of a branch. That's what I'm going to say. Then again, yeah, is it relevant? So the goal that you are setting. Most times, like we feel lost and confused because most of the things we tend to do, they're not even relevant to the things we want. is it relevant? Okay, maybe at this stage, you are still maybe squatting with your parents or squatting with friends, or you find it difficult to eat. And then the next thing that you are saying is you want to buy a car. Yes, it's good to buy a car, drive a car. But is that really relevant for your life? Rather than buying a car, you look at, okay, maybe buying income generating assets and maybe buying the land, selling houses, something that will bring you more money, or starting a business rather than just buying a car and and like keeping it just in one place. Rather than thinking of that, why not you just use goals that are relevant, something that is tangible in line with a bigger vision than doing things that maybe you just want to do them for show, for the glam, for pictures or whatever. So whatever goals that you are setting, make sure that the goal is relevant. And then time bound. I'll talk about time bound goal. So setting a goal, you have to like have a specific date. So it keeps your brain up. So if I just say, I'm going to speak at Mr. Bete's event and there's no date, you just say, ask, what day is that event holding? No, on what time? So don't say that because it's your life and your vision. You can just say, well, I've just set the intention. Whenever it happens, let it happen. No, set a goal for it so that God has a way, or the or whatever you believe in has a way of bringing those things back to you to say, well, she desires to have this thing at this stage, at that stage, because what there's specific time attached to it. So that's how it was for you to be able to what to lead, even in a way where others are pulling backward, because others might be those that are confused. They don't even have access to know this information, have access to this opportunity. I'm submitted is spending time to mentor, to grow up generational leaders. Use that time, use that opportunity to acquire what the right knowledge, right skills, and the right strategies so that you'll be able to what to lead, even when others are pulling back. There are a lot of people that say, oh, well, COVID-19 has done that. There are a lot of people that it was even in COVID-19, they even became richer, or they had access to more doors wide of opportunity because what they are both prepared for it. So see challenges as opportunity. Yes, it's COVID time. Imagine when COVID just came, everybody was running extra. Some people use that opportunity to start making nose bags. I started profiting from it. Some people use that opportunity to start hand sanitizer business. While others saw the opportunity as to complain to say, oh, we're waiting for our palliative care, or we're waiting for the government to give us cash out, or you're waiting for your uncle to give you this, you're waiting for someone to give you that. How are you going to be a leader where you keep waiting for others? You yourself, you don't want to stretch out your own self. You don't have visions, you don't have plans, you don't have dreams, you don't have direction in doing all those things. I hope that we can still hear me. I hope I'm not speaking to myself alone. Sabete, can you hear me? Okay. I'll just continue. I can still see that I'm live. Okay, and then another thing again for you to do, you have to invest in yourself. Back to my story on how I started like my career in moving out of school to like Abuja for an event. If I'm not valued myself to say, oh, I deserve it, I'm worthy of it to spend XYZ on myself for me to like to boost that confidence, spending my own resources. Whatever I've done today, like I said, won't have been possible because nobody would have wanted to invest in me, to have given me that chance and given me what that opportunity. Invest in yourself, invest in yourself physically, good health, potential, spiritually. Who are you serving? Invest in yourself in that area, cordial relationship with that. Invest in yourself financially. Financially does not mean that okay, maybe you have to have the money first. Have income generating skills. There are people doing community, they're just talking and laughing. That's skills, that's talent. Public speaking is a talent. Whatever you learn stays in your brain. Maybe learning if you know how to make videos, that's an income generating skill. And it's one way for you to invest in yourself. If you learn that skill, able to empower others too. So you have to invest in yourself what in those areas, even socially, which is one critical way. How are you going to lead for others to follow? You have to build networks. Networks are very, very important. I am basically connected also. there are social media. Social media today is like a good. I know a lot of opportunities that come to me. A lot of opportunities to have thrown to others. Yeah, well, because of what social capital. Social capital. I even used to believe that social capital is more important than physical capital, like cash or money, because you might lose resources, lose things, but if you don't have people around you or people to like to rely on to pull you back up again, how are you going to be an effective leader? To lead so that others follow, to even lead in your life, you need to build network of people, and not just kind of people, anyhow people like every people you just love movies with, you just hang out with. I believe that relationship should be mutual, should be beneficial, like for both of you. People that you can exchange ideas with, people you can share your vision with, people that you can work together with. So I don't want to like make the presentation so long. I just felt that I should just speak out from my mind. So maybe when it's time for question and more, the question you throw at me, I'm able to dig deeper to answer some other areas that might not. So at this moment, I'll call back Mr. Bente to take it away. Is that
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I hope you can hear me clearly. Can you hear me clearly now?
yes, I can hear you.
That's wonderful. In fact, if I knew you were going to use 30 minutes very well like this, I should have given you 20 minutes. Even the 40 I gave you, I think I overallotted time to you. Thank you so much for the wonderful session. In fact, within these 30 minutes alone, I was just listening to your story, and what you have shared is quite true. A lot of people think, oh, I saw this person, or the way I see this person behaving is like she just woke up one day and became who she is, not knowing that there are things that have been done on the ground that keeps you where you are today. And that is the aspect of taking responsibility. Definitely, from what you have shared, if you were waiting for, okay, now I'm out of school, I have my parents, they are going to take care of everything, or maybe someone from somewhere will come and handle the responsibilities, definitely you shouldn't have gotten this far. But you saw it that it is you that have to take any responsibility about who you want to become, being intentional and deliberate. So I am very happy for what you have shared, and I believe those who are following us, they are also learning. I've checked the comment section. I'm seeing that a lot of them are sending some tips that they have learned. I I believe that you have given a lot of insight. Let me see if I can show off some of the comments that we have here before we come back to you. Most of them, I told them that you need to allow StreamYard to see this. You see from Facebook user. I know this from Eunice. Yeah. Yes, this is from Eunice also. Okay, so before we continue on this, I want to thank you for the session. And I think I have a question before we can let those that have questions to ask. Once I see their questions on the comment, I'll ask you. But my own is like this. Most times on my inbox, some people come to my inbox and say, oh, I want to do a particular thing like this, but I don't have means to do it. And now you go and check this person's profile. For instance, someone say you want to become a photographer. You go and check the person's profile. You have never seen him post anything concerning photography. He has a phone. He has never used that phone to take any picture, but he's looking for someone that will buy a camera for him. So in that kind of a situation, what will you advise that kind of a person? Do you think someone will just go and buy the camera and give you when you have a phone and you have never used it to take a picture? I want to hear from you. Yeah.
All right, thank you. You know, I feel like
Yeah.
this question you just asked me. Before I jumped into this webinar, I was discussing with someone, and it was just
Okay.
similar to this question you were asking. Okay,
Okay.
one thing I would say to everyone is if you don't invest in yourself, nobody is going to invest
Yeah.
in me personally. Even though I have that money, I'm not going to buy you that camera. To be honest, let me just say, what's the reason I will not buy you that camera? Because in the little, you're not even faithful in the little. Because if you are faithful in the to be faithful in the bigger way. Because you might be surprised that if I buy you that camera, that photography that you claim you are passionate about or you want to start, you might end up dumping that camera somewhere without using it. Because the zeal was never there in the first place. If you see someone that has passion or someone who really wants to do something, you can see it in the way they come out all the time, in the way they even speak about it, in the way they like show their talent out. There are a lot of people that they started with their mobile phone. Hmm? If you always look at, if you even scroll down to like see before and after pictures, they used to use it for example that Mr. Obete. So let's say if you check a picture 5 years ago, the way you're looking now is not the way those are
Exactly.
pictures. We definitely be looking. Of course,
Yeah.
there will definitely be an improvement. But if you are still down to say, well, I'm waiting for the day that I'll be a who like maybe a Steve Harris, a Steve Harvey, or a Les Brown before I'll start coming out to post my webinars or do whatever thing that I'm doing. At this stage, the things that you achieve now, let's even look at the picture. You're not going to get there. That's certain mistake that people make. They say, well, I don't have the right tools. I don't have the money. I don't have the connection. I don't have the this. I don't have the that. I look at all those things as what simple excuses. And that's why if you are listening to what I was trying to like bring out in the conversation before, let's say you're somebody have 0 naira in your bank account right now, you don't have any money. At least you have this phone and maybe even borrow data. You borrow data to watch this live stream. First of all, I want to say that you should be grateful. You should be grateful at the moment where you are because not everybody even have access to this opportunity. There are some people that have never seen a mobile phone. Yes, there are some people that if you bring an Android phone to them, it looks foreign and strange. Whereas you have access to these things, you have access to people, you have access to even go to the inbox of Mr. Obete to go and ask him any question or to ask for demand. So first of all, you should be grateful at that. The second of all, you have to like sit down and pour yourself to order and say, okay, look at me now. So let's say in terms of financially your value might be zero because maybe you have zero in your bank account. But let's look at all other areas where you have money. I keep telling people your best resource is yourself. That's why I keep hitting up. Like when you invest in yourself, it has a way of like multiplying in a billion ways. Let me even say it in a billion ways. Because if you even take everything out of that person, you have a skill. If you take money, you take everything out of that person. With that skill, like if you do something for someone, is that not something that would generate revenue for you? But you just sat down to say, well, I'm waiting for the when I have a shop. Okay, maybe the next fashion, for instance, say, well, I'm waiting for when I have a shop. I'm not just any shop. Oh, you're waiting for when you have the shop in Lekki, and not just anywhere in Lekki. You want to have it at the most expensive area at this. You can't. Nobody's going to do that. If you start in your own little way from your house, you're snapping, and maybe your work is even perfect. You're posting somewhere. The way this person takes picture in, someone might just like to say, these are pictures. Maybe you should teach me. Or how do you take it? And they say, no, I even use my mobile phone. And so use your mobile phone. Just yeah, with your mobile phone, you can take this picture. So that means if I give you a camera, you'll be taking me something was out of this world. Do you understand? But if you are not shown your work in the first place, how will someone see it to say, okay, they want to invest in you? You have to push yourself, push yourself, push yourself. By pushing yourself out there, how are you sharing it to say, okay, my friend, I can take picture and let me take this this picture of you. Your friend posts picture and say, my friend is a photographer. You can do this. You see how you are building traction, how you are building following to your own self. Maybe you're even trying to say, okay, I want to be like a celebrity photographer or whatever. I mean, like, okay, maybe you go to an event and maybe see one prominent person, you just go and then you snap the photo, you snap the photograph, edit the photograph very well. You send it to the person. Let's say they are the person inbox. Maybe surprise how impressed that person will be. I say, are you a full-time photo? Or the person say, okay, come and be taking me picture, and the person is paying you. And the person paying that you're able to raise money to buy your own equipment. So I would say we should not give room for any excuses to hold us back. Even if people say, how many people around to say, okay, oh, like I always tell people, there's no investor that invests in anybody that's never contributed. Go and ask any prominent brand that has investors. No investor wants to give you that money when you've not even tried the idea yourself. When you've not tried the idea yourself, no investor is going to give you that capital. They want to see, they're watching you to say, okay, how have you managed this little one? To say, so with 10,000 naira, be able to generate 100,000 naira. Oh, so with this your scrappy phone, be able to take this picture. So I see that, okay, if I give you the right equipment, you'll be able to do the right thing. So I said, action, action, action. The underlying thing I'm just trying to say. That person should not wait till they have the perfect equipment. Use your imperfection to use for your perfection. That's just what I'm just saying.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Precious. And I believe our participants are listening to this because this is something that happens so often. People want someone that will come and start the journey for them. But in the world we are today, and if you want to really take responsibility, you don't allow someone to start your journey for you because they may even lead you to where you are not going. So you must always be the one starting it. Thank you so much. Then before you go, I have one last question. This one, I don't mind if you can share your personal experience if you have any concerning that. Have you ever been in a situation where you plan to do something with people? Everything was planned very well, only to realize that all of them they are no longer interested, and it's something that is so important to you. Have you ever been in any situation like that? You plan to do something with people, you were excited, oh, we are going to achieve this, but at some point, in fact, like a day or some hours to the main event, all of them pulled back, just left with you alone. Have you been in that kind of a situation, and how did you react if you have been in or what was your response?
Okay, I might not say maybe like really exact, but maybe something similar.
Okay.
Well, and also like in future, maybe if something like that should like happen. But first of all, what I tell people is like when I'm always doing something, or even though I have a plan, if I always look at the end that it's a 50-50, either I'm going to, or that thing doesn't work out, or it's working out. There's no guarantee it's going to be successful, even with all the planning and everything. There's no guarantee that everybody is going to. There's no guarantee today that I would have come to your webinar. I could have switched off something might have happened. I mean, my
Sure.
phone is off, and then you try to reach me. You can't, you can't find me. You understand? Why you'll be panicking? Do you understand? Like,
Yeah.
at the moment you try to reach the other speaker again. You don't be like, what's going on today? Just as if your village people, everybody was after you. Yeah, sometimes I think
Yeah.
that's taught me like one critical thing that I should always give rooms for backup number one, and to have the mindset that I should not only think that everything is 100%. There's no time that anything is going to be 100%. Not as if I'm a very anybody that knows me. I'm a very optimistic person. In fact, I'm a positivity person. I like I like hey, I'm that kind of person.
Yeah.
But even having that kind of mindset and living as like a happy person, wanting everything like that to happen, I started having at the back of my mind that okay, maybe today, even just like you, like maybe you mentor a lot of people. You might find that you may run into trouble one day and you think that oh, these people have flooding my heart, my blood, my soul, my sweat, my money, my energy. And then you walk up to that person and say, and that person has the answer to like what you want. If I remember even that person even the answer, and then the person does not respond to you. You know how painful that can be, how heartbroken that can be. But
Sure.
it's fine. It's fine. At that stage, you just have to was to come down and say that is not the end of the world because as far as there's life and there's hope. Let's say, for instance, I'm not sure for this webinar. You now tried reaching me. I need to tell me that you close this event today and you say, well, unfortunately, since we can't find the speaker around, let's just close the webinar and everybody go home. No, if it was me, I'll go on with the webinar and say, well, probably I can't reach out to my speaker. Maybe whenever I reach out to my speaker, I'll do the recording. But I just have like few things, like you just say your own thing and you close the webinar. So life even has a way of testing you to see how resilient you are. Sometimes some people might intentionally do it to say, okay, I want to see how this person reacts to challenges or how this person reacts to disappointment. But maybe if it's a business opportunity, we'll agree and say, okay, don't worry, tomorrow I'm going to my share, which is 50,000 naira, I'll contribute it to you. But maybe someone just say, well, let me just watch how does this person handle disappointment? Because even if I invest in this business and this business fails, I know that yes, the business can fail. I'll be able to take it. But this person I'm trying to invest in, how is he emotionally? How is he mentally, psychologically? Will he be able to handle when there's disappointment? Or is it someone that easily give up, that will not still push to say, okay, because nobody is buying my idea or everybody is pulling out? Will I still, is it going to take initiative to say, okay, maybe you will look for new partners? Let me understand the kind of person he is. And then at that time, just give up. You close everything. You close your back. One thing you've lost that person because that person, yes, I said it, he was never serious about his business. Number two, maybe even the person was not deliberate. You've also lost the opportunity for someone else who would have seen your idea or seen you to say, okay, wow, so you mean you went to this challenge, I'm able to, you know what, I'm going to support you. I'm going to, you understand, to build new partnership for you. You've lost in two ways. In fact, in three ways, you've disappointed your own self, number one. Yes, it's painful. I get disappointment every day. People get disappointment every day. You'll not be the first, neither will you be the last. It can happen. It can happen to you. So you always have to have this conversation to say, okay, what if Precious does not show up still? Whatever I'm going to my event does not show up today. You know, I'm still going to live stream and talk about whatever I want to talk about. You understand? That people will say, well, at least that event still hold though. Because people will say, did that program say we're holding for this happen? Yes, whether I was there or was not there, it happened, right? But for you to now say, no, I didn't hold the event again. They will not say, I said it. He's just trying to maybe want to show himself. He wants to show himself. Now look at it. But to say, yes, the event happened. They're not say, the fashion shop. Say, no, she couldn't meet up, but I was able to still do SYZ. They'll be like, this guy, this lady, no, she's determined and she will still continue to go on. So you keep getting, if one door closes, for me, when people tell me no, I think no, no to be next opportunity, endless or opportunity. They tell me no. Someone else is going to tell me yes. And I take it that I don't take it upon myself to say the phone is about me. I take it that, wow, I feel that this person has just lost one opportunity that would have. So someone else who is open to receive it, someone else will, so that the person just have it. So that is what I just have to say.
Wow, that's an amazing aspect again. In fact, you just reminded me of what was in my mind while I was planning for this event. You know, before now, there were some other people that I invited to also come and speak in this event. But while I was doing that, because it has been part of me that whenever I'm preparing for any event, in every topic, I allocate it to two people. Anybody that accepts first will now take it. But outside that, I myself as a facilitator, I still prepare for any topic I'm giving out to someone in case anything happens. Just like that is why I was laughing at the background, because it has happened once, and that day I just have to do what I supposed to do, and we were able to use our time very well. So all these things, they happen. It's about we knowing that okay, things can happen this way, and we are always prepared in case they happen. I am really happy that today you are here to share this much value with us, and everybody that is watching us now is excited with what you have shared, because you didn't just share what you read somewhere, but from the depth of your heart, especially all these personalized experiences, because that is what really make people connect with someone, because they feel that this thing I'm going through, this person have also at some point in our life, in his life, experienced them. So I'm very happy, Precious, for us having you here. This is just the beginning. We will always call you to come here, because our slogan here is that we are continuous learners. We keep on learning, we keep sharing, and we grow. So anybody who is passionate about learning, we always bring them here so that we will learn together, because our aim is to ensure that we grow intentional and competent leaders. And through this, through these conversations, we will continue to push the way forward at any moment. So thank you. We are happy that where you are going, you spread the message, and we are always open for partnership in case you want to partner with us for any event or whatever, maybe even to carry out an offline event. We are always available. So once again, thank you so much. Thank you. So at this moment, I don't know if you have some last words for us before we can end this session and begin the next one.
All right. I'll just say like keep going. Yeah, like in leading the way. You don't stop. The moment you stop, just like as if you've wasted all the effort that you've ever been trying for. Just keep going, no matter what it takes. Keep pushing yourself to be that different one that even in your generation, you are a leader. You've led yourself so well that people admire you. They want to follow your footsteps and you're making impact. Like stay humble, stay hungry. That's what I'm just
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Precious. So at this moment, we can excuse you so that you can go and attend to other activities. Have a
uh,
wonderful evening. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been a very wonderful and exciting moment with Precious. I told you in the beginning that all our speakers for this event are well packed. They are here to share their experiences, not just sharing anything that maybe they have never gone through, but the way they got to where they are. That is what they are here to tell. And there is something that she said that really that I want to portray, because that is the more reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Investing in yourself. See, if you want to take responsibility about your life, the very first thing you need to do is to invest in yourself, because if I don't see anything going on in your life that you have started, there is no how I am going to support you. I had a conversation, I think that was November, yeah, November last year, with one of my mentors like that. Though currently is not in Nigeria, he traveled for an event at Mauritius. He told me, Mban, I built my organization from scratch to a point where people started looking for us, and I've never gotten any support from anybody, and I've never asked, because I want to make sure that I have laid a legacy where people will say, oh, without even the help of other people, he was able to put something in place that transformed a lot of lives. So if you want to live as an intentional person, these are the things that you need to do. So at this moment, I want to thank everybody who have participated in this live session. I know some people will still join us because today, especially this hour, is always a very busy one for those who are football lovers and different things. But at any moment you come to watch the live stream, the recordings will be there for you to watch at any moment. So ensure to type in your name and where you are watching us from. This enable us to know where we are reaching people and how to, because when we know where we are reaching, it will enable us to know how to serve everybody better. So we are going to end this live stream by 5 o'clock. That is in 5 minutes time. We are going to start a new session where Mr. Ohemo Pius will be here to speak on his session. So don't go anywhere. Just leave this session. I'm going to refresh everything. Also refresh your Facebook. You will see the live one. You join in so that we commence the next session. But before then, ensure to tell your friends that we have started, and what we are doing here is really, really, really impacting you. And also, when the next session starts, ensure to always drop the bullet points you have heard the speaker talk about. Drop them on the comment so that someone that just come in should know that, oh, things have been happening here. It's not just talk, talk, talk. There were a lot of things that you were getting. And if you do that, yes, we will continue to have an engaging session. So thank you once again. My name remains Obetin Mbang, your personal development and leadership coach and the lead mentor of Gold Mine Africa. Until I see you in the next session, have a wonderful time.